Hey bunnies, welcome to another video. Before we start off, I just want to say that my coffee machine has been messing up a little bit, and while I was testing it, I may have made 4 shots of coffee in my coffee. So if I'm super energetic, I'm probably dying of like a caffeine overdose. I don't know. If you notice something weird about this video, that's why. So I have made no secret of how much I love like top 10 lists, tier lists, those kind of things. I watch a lot of them, and I used to follow a website back in the day called Listiverse and just read through that. Just random stuff. Just ranking things is fun. I don't know why, but ranking things is fun. And if you want to see more tier lists, please tell me. So I thought, hey, trading card games, there's a fair few of them. Turns out there's not as many as I thought there was. There is more than what I have on this tier list. I didn't want to include them because either they're discontinued or I don't think they make the cut. Things like Exploding Kittens and Unstable Unicorns and Exploding Kittens and those kind of games where you have one deck and you share them with everyone in the room, that doesn't count as a trading card game to me. They're officially trading card games. You don't actually trade cards and you don't need anything other than the original deck. So I don't feel like that counts. And in that same vein, I was looking up just trading card games that I don't know about and checking the rules and seeing what I feel about them. There was a game that was top listed on a lot of them called Sorcerer. Everyone said it was a really good game. I don't think there's a rarity or like a trading mechanic. So as a trading card, I would say it doesn't count. If you disagree, if there are like different rarities and you can trade cards between people for different things, if you have other things to add to my list that you think I maybe should have added, please leave it in the comments. But without further ado, let's begin. I'll rank I guess, I'll just choose randomly from left to right. Duel Masters is the first card game. You may not have heard of it. There was actually an anime of it. It came out like around probably season 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh kind of time. It was definitely to kind of steal the hype from Yu-Gi-Oh. I used to play the Game Boy game a lot. The concept of it, the actual mechanics of the game, really cool. I would say it's not too dissimilar from Yu-Gi-Oh for the most part. There are a few little differences. In one sense, you have 5 shields to start off with, so no one can just like attack your life points directly, and the goal of the game is to hit an opponent just once. You don't need to do damage. You have 1 life point. If you get touched, you are out, which means that Duel Masters is a lot faster, or it can be a lot slower if you're really good at the game. Basically, you want to clear the monsters out of the field and then attack the life points directly to win. If you haven't checked out the anime, I haven't seen it since it came out, but it was really fun. I thought, back when I was, like 10 maybe? It is just a copy of Yu-Gi-Oh! For the most part. The mechanics are kind of cool, but it is just a standard-ass thing, and because there's no one to actually, like no one's playing it, the actual trading aspect is very limited. I actually don't know how many cards there are kind of in rotation. Yeah, I'll put that at a B tier, I think. It's in the middle. It's not anything good. Magic the Gathering. Now, if you don't know, it's probably the biggest card game in the world, made by Wizards of the Coast, who've made a ton of different card games, a ton of different kind of nerd shit, basically. The game mechanics in Magic the Gathering is just, it makes me happy. It's really well designed. They know how to make a card game. They have they have testers testing the game to its limit every single time they release a thing. Even then, there's some issues. So the games that don't have that, you kind of got an issue where they're broken to some extent. But yeah, other like smaller card games, they have so many banned cards because you like can't do anything against them because people have figured out how to exploit them. So yeah, Magic the Gathering, I would definitely put, yeah, I'm gonna put it at an S tier. It's one of my favorite games. I got like, what, 4 or 5 decks with me right now. It's a fun game, online or offline, so I'm putting it at an S tier. Also the trading mechanic, like there are so many expensive cards, like there's so many like super rare cards that people are vying for that they would love to trade. That's an important thing that I think a lot of card games don't think about nowadays. Like trading card games are trading card games. If you're not trading them, what's the point? In that sense, if I'm ranking the trading card games from the fact that they are trading card games and their play styles, I would put the things like Unstable Unicorns, Exploding Kittens, that would be in an F tier because I just think that they are not trading card games. They're just card games. and calling them trading card games because they have pictures on them is just stupid. The next list, I kind of wish that Yu-Gi-Oh was somewhere else, because I did say that Yu-Gi-Oh's, I can make it somewhere else. Yu-Gi-Oh is very similar to Magic in the sense that it's a very, very popular game. Lots of expensive cards, lots of packs coming out every year. The one thing about Yu-Gi-Oh that I don't like is that it's got a very, very basic system, which means that the strategies to win and to lose are the strategies to win and the strategies to get the opponent to lose are very, like, you've got to fine-tune yourself. So I feel like maybe Magic versus Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh has more of that split between really, really good players and really, really bad, and like new players. Like you could see that split. With Magic, I think you can whiff it if you've got the right deck, but with Yu-Gi-Oh, you kind of can't just like whiff it. You have to make sure that you have all of the cards and you're drawing properly and that kind of thing. So I would put Yu-Gi-Oh at an S tier as well, because I haven't played it in quite a while and I'm not sure how the new ones. I've seen some of the like spirit links and stuff and they're kind of funky, so I'm gonna put it on an A tier just because I think it's been like diluted. Magic the Gathering, you've got a fair set of rules and they don't really change, and when they do change, they're explained very quickly. When you play Yu-Gi-Oh, so think back to when you first played your first Yu-Gi-Oh game, or you first got a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh games and you had no idea how to play the game. For instance, when I first played Yu-Gi-Oh, because the rules were already kind of complicated from the first thing, the star system, I had no idea how to kind of count the star system out because, you know, you've got like 4 stars, you can play that. No, I think 3 stars you can play it instantly. 4 stars you have to sacrifice 1, and then 7 stars you have to sacrifice 2 cards. And it was just, the star system, they thought, I think, was an easy way to do that. You could have just written the number of cards you needed to sacrifice to play it. There's a lot of overcomplication of the card game. So I'm going to put it in A instead of S, but it's in the middle of S and A, I would say. Okay, so I know you're looking at this image and thinking, what the fuck is this? I've never seen that in the world. This is a picture of an NRL trading card booster pack. NRL being the Australian National Rugby League. I picked this because I'm Australian. I used to buy NRL trading cards as a little kid, not like religiously, like I would have like a few booster packs when I was playing football, but I wanted to add it because you don't play football trading cards or sports trading cards, I guess, but it's a trading card, not a trading card game. And it's an important thing to note that I was talking about it in my streams for Magic a lot. I complain about it so much. Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and all those kind of online games, they really just ignore the trading aspect of a trading card game. And I don't think that trading card game companies realize that rarity, that system of like, oh, I want to trade this with this to get a cool card that I need for my deck, and trading a cool card for that deck. I think that needs to be implemented into these online trading card games. I think that they need to. I think that all of them kind of want. I want them to focus on those betting games that you would see in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime and that kind of thing, where you would go, oh, I want your this card and I want your this card, and then they'll be like, duel me for it then, and then the winner gets the card or loses a card. I think that that's an aspect that could be really cool to use in Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh, in the sense that like it'd mean that trading is an actual thing, but also you could have a shop where you could like trade cards based on their cost in real life, and that would be cool too, like a RuneScape style. You can't trade over a certain monetary value of cards. That would also be a really, really nice thing, and you could even use a resource style thing, like a resource trading stuff where like land costs maybe 1 cent, maybe 1/100 of a cent. So like you would go like 100 lands equals $1 worth of a card, and then you could kind of trade that way. I don't know how you'd focus that on Yu-Gi-Oh. Maybe you trade it in Karibos, but I think that would be a really cool system. I think that the trading aspect of these kind of games is really chucked to the side. And there's something about the footy trading cards and those kind of things is that it's not a game. It's just you trade cards for the players or the types that you want, and that's it. So as far as a trading card goes, the sport trading cards are the only ones that actually properly do a trading card system, and like straight up actually like people do that all the time. The only thing that I don't like about it is that you've got pictures of just people playing sports, and I think the prices of the cards kind of change depending on how that player is doing in the public eye rather than the actual rarity of a card. So that issue makes the trading aspect almost non-existent. So I'm going to put, this is a long way to say that footy trading cards and sports trading cards go on in a D tier, go on in an F tier really, but I just kind of wanted to put it there to make my point about trading card games need to focus on trading some more. Like, the game aspect is really good, and I like playing Magic. I love it, and I kind of forget about it when I'm in the middle of a game, but having the ability to trade cards with people and go like, hey, I would love that card. Do you want this card? Because maybe you're using a fire deck, or like a red deck or a blue deck, and I want your red card and you want my blue card, that kind of thing. It's a really good way to build decks, and it means that they won't have to give you cards. Like in Magic Magic Arena, for instance, you get decks. You can buy decks straight up. You get booster cards as well, but the main way you're getting cards is by buying decks and just using those decks, because it's just, and you can buy cards with these like tokens basically. So you get a super rare card that you can just buy with a token. I think that's really stupid. Duel Links, I think, doesn't do it either. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, I don't know if there's a newer Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that's actually a 5-slot Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, because Duel Links is a very fast-paced 3 monster game, and it's a bit different to a regular one, but yeah, definitely that. Game of Thrones. I didn't know this was a trading card game. I'm not the biggest fan of Game of Thrones, but looking at the rules, it seems super in-depth. It's not overly complicated. A lot of the things are just standard numbers, just like this number is for this stat. It's fairly simple in that regard. It looks well designed. It looks like it'll go for a long time. It looks like you could basically do like a Magic kind of situation. Something I really liked is that you get these, I think they're called schemes. There's like a pack of schemes or something, and you don't shuffle that deck. You organize them the way that you want to draw the deck, and then you gotta hope that your deck aligns with that deck to make a really good like system. And I think that's a cool system that a lot of decks don't really have. Like a lot of trading card games and deck building games don't really have. So I'm gonna put that in A tier. I just think that it's a really cool concept. I don't think I'll ever play it because I'm not the biggest fan of Game of Thrones, and I've spent too much on Magic already. But if you've considered checking out other card games, that one looks really good, I've got to say. I also don't know if rarity is a thing in that one, so that could drop based on, actually I might put it at a B just because of the lack of trading aspect. But it could have a trading aspect. I'm honestly not sure. It looks like you can buy booster packs, but I don't know. Pokemon trading card game. Now, the online version of Pokemon trading card game is really cool because you get these little cards with your booster packs that you can buy in store, and these cards have codes on them that you enter into the online Pokemon trading card game to get another booster pack online. So that's cool because you can buy real cards and then use that on the online thing. That's something I really wish Magic had for their online games, especially because they're focusing a lot on the arena game, to the point where I think that that's just going to be the game and they're going to just continue with that, updating that. But that makes it really fun to play to buy Pokemon trading card booster packs, because you're getting stuff that you don't like, that you will have forever, as well as stuff that you can trade, stuff that like you can keep and hold and will increase in rarity the longer you hold, kind of thing. The one thing I don't like about Pokemon trading, there's a few things I don't like about Pokemon trading card game. The first thing is that the actual, well, for instance, a lot of the people buying Pokemon trading cards, they buy it for the rarity and the loot box opening situation. A lot of people who have Pokemon trading cards do not play them. Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of people play the actual game. Pokemon trading card game, barely anyone actually plays the game portion of it, and most of it's just collecting and trading cards. I like the Pokemon trading card game, but it's very flawed, and I think that's probably the reason they don't really advertise it. The mechanics of a lot of the cards make them really broken. EX and Mega cards essentially can't be beaten to the most extent. Like, you can potentially beat them, but if you play them, and it's pretty much free to play a card, right? So you can just play this card whenever you want, and you're basically instant. Something that, it's an instant win, but something that I guess, it's basically, if you play your EX card first, someone plays their EX card second, they've won, you've lost. There's no point in playing. It's kind of like when you see you're gonna lose in Magic and someone just forfeits. There's no point in trying at that point. And so the card game aspect is kind of broken, or it's very broken. Playing online trading card game, you can see that pretty much everyone just has a deck full of EX cards. That's all they need, because if you only have EX cards, you can't lose. And it's very easy to collect them on the online portion of the game. So it's not the best thing in the world. The trading card aspect though, the fact that there's so many different art, there's so much different, like there's shinies, there's like reflective, there's like inverted reflective or something, I can't remember what that's called. And there's like different foils of the cards, there's different types of foils, there's different card art, like there's probably like 50 different Pikachu art at this point. However, the first Pokemon card booster packs I thought were really kind of dumb. It's almost got like a Pokemon Go aspect to it, where it's kind of just a really shitty CGI model attached to a real life picture of wherever the Pokemon would be in real life. And that was like, just looking at that makes me like disgusted in the art, basically. Like, I'm sure that they meant well, but it just seems stupid. So I'm gonna put the Pokemon trading card game at a B. I'm gonna put it at a C. The trading card aspect is really good, but because the game is pretty much broken, and because the art styles and the initial kind of things, and even some of the newer ones have kind of bonkers art style that you kind of feel like, eh. Some people think it's fun, but I think it just makes you kind of get out of the kind of game aspect. With Magic, you've got an artist making a different art for a different card every single time, and it looks beautiful. The description of the cards often has just like really funny little like blurb at the bottom that's just like, hey, this creature's gonna eat you. And that makes it like, it's lighthearted, but it's also beautiful art and like amazing game design. Whereas Pokemon, it's just kind of like, it's almost like they didn't try and they were just kind of cashing in on it, which, you know, Pokemon and Nintendo, there's a pretty good chance that was the fact. I think it's only recently that they're kind of taking a step back and going, hey, trading card games are actually a really good way to make money if we focus on them and make them better. I've noticed that the newest, like the Sun and Moon and whatever the newest one is, Sword and Shield ones are a lot prettier, but still, because the old stuff is still in rotation, it means that you've just got a lot of ugly cards, a lot of things that you don't really care about, and I guess that'll make you trade it a lot faster, but eh. Okay, so this is the last trading card game. I haven't heard about it till I was looking stuff up today, but it looks really cool. They have had, I checked the website and there's been like actual competitions for this game, and it's very new. It was made in New Zealand apparently, so very close by to where, you know, I am. I guess. You know, New Zealand's different from Australia. I just want to point that out there. Also, our accents do not sound the same. I don't know how you get confused. But it looks really cool. It's got booster packs, so there are like rarity and trading. I have no idea if it, like, how broken the game is, like how the mechanics work based on the thing, but it does seem similar to Magic in the sense that you've just got straight up numbers telling you exactly what you need to do. The summoning mechanic looks very interesting. I think there's like a weaponry system which makes the difficulty of the game a bit kind of like you get confused. It looks like I was reading the thing and I was like, I might get a bit confused. But the card art looks really cool. I don't know if they pay artists in the similar way that Magic does, where they kind of get artists, like freelance artists, to make their cards, or if they have like an artist on site that makes all of their cards. But it looks really cool. It's kind of a new system, so it has room to improve. Flesh and Blood, I reckon I'll make it an A tier. I think A tier, but if I look more into it, maybe I'll addend it. Is it addend? Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. But I'll add a comment at the end of the video that'll just be like, maybe I jumped the gun there and Flesh and Blood isn't as good as it looks. There's my tier list at the moment. If I missed out any card games, or if you disagree with my rankings, please leave a comment telling me what you think about the tier list. Please tell me other things you'd like me to make a tier list of, or like a top 10 list even. I love tier lists, I love top 10 lists. I thought this was a good idea. There's not as many cards as I thought there was, but we've been going for 20 minutes, so maybe it's good that I only had like 7 card games to choose from. I talked a lot. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment telling me any other top 10 lists or tier lists that you want me to do for anything that you've seen me do, maybe video games, horror games. I've already done soundtracks, so look up that. It'll be in the link in the description, I think. And I will see you in the next one. Bunny out.